Episode 6 of the Los Angeles Rams Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated with myself, Tom Cavanaugh. Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2024, and we're getting closer, folks. It's going to be Monday Night Football, the Rams battling up against the 2-6 Miami Dolphins. There's going to be some storylines we got to talk about today as we prep for the week. Some injury report stuff that just released earlier today, and also a few leading storylines from a former Los Angeles Ram that will be going up against his former team, and then also the best defensive rookie midway through the season in the entire NFL grabbed himself an award. First, want to give a huge thank you to Fans First Sports Network for featuring us on their platform, giving you daily updates on the Los Angeles Rams and everything from around the organization. You can follow myself, Tom Cavanaugh, on Twitter/X at TCAV30. That's TCAV30. And then also go over to Twitter and Facebook and follow our Rams Insider accounts. That is the LA Rams Insider on SI at both apps. You can check out both Facebook and X. So we'll kick things off talking about the injury report stuff releasing earlier today from the Rams organization. Steve Avila and Jonah Jackson, a pair of offensive linemen, a pair of guards for this Rams squad, are able to open up their practice window. So they were on injured reserve ever since the first couple weeks of the season. Steve Avila, he went down with an ankle in week 1 against the Lions. Jonah Jackson, the former Lion, he is with in his first year with LA. He had a broken scapula in week 2 against NFC West rival, the Arizona Cardinals. So both of those guys, 2 starting guards on each side for this group that just went down in a flash. So you go back to those first couple of weeks, there were a lot of second and third string guys that were having to fill in for both Avila and Jackson. Head coach Sean McVay said that Avila's looking much better. He should be back on the practice field later this week, and then hopefully back in full pads and on the field on Sundays starting in the next few weeks as well. Avila was a second-round pick out of TCU back in 2023, so still one of the younger front 4 guys for this Rams team. And then you look at Jackson, he spent several years with the Detroit Lions from 2020 up until last season. Played 1 year with Matt Stafford over there. It was kind of a weird crossing at the end there. Jackson was drafted to the Lions in the final year that Stafford was with Detroit before being traded away. But Jackson, he entered the league in 2020 out of Ohio State, so he's got a lot more time under his belt in the NFL. Good to have him back in front of Stafford for the second year out of their careers. And when you look at Stafford's numbers, he's been the only quarterback to play for the Rams this season, but without Jackson and Avila, those sack numbers have skyrocketed in the first couple of weeks. Now, over the last 2 against the Vikings in week 8 and then against Seattle in week 9, Stafford was not sacked. The pressure did not get home. The offensive line did a great job even without 2 of their studs. But you look back at the first couple of weeks, I mean, twice against Detroit, 5 times against Arizona, 3 straight weeks with 3 sacks from the Niners, the Bears, and the Packers. That's a high sack total. That's 16 sacks in the first 5 games of the season. So Stafford was taking a beating, but these guys have started to adjust. They're obviously playing better football, and when you only have 1 sack in the last 3 games, that is why you're on a 3-game win streak. But being able to get Avila and Jackson back, that number likely going to stay right around 0 with both those guys back. Something else we got to mention is All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey. He is going to go up against his former team for the first time since joining the Miami Dolphins last year. A 4-year career for Ramsey in Los Angeles with the Rams. He won a Super Bowl back in 2021, and in his time, he played 57 games, 242 tackles, 10 picks, and 47 pass deflections. He was a 3-time first-team All-Pro, and every year that he was with the Rams, he made a Pro Bowl. So he's in his second year with Miami, played with them last year as they lost in the wild card to the Chiefs in kind of a whomping 26-7. He still only played 10 games that year, but he's been fully healthy for Miami and head coach Mike McDaniel this year. He's played in all 8 games. He's got 29 tackles. He has an interception and 4 pass deflections as well. So it's going to be cool for Ramsey kind of following that storyline going up against his former team. He has not been back to SoFi since he was sent to Miami in 2023. it'll be a nice little homecoming for Jalen. You know, he was a big pivotal piece of that team over several years from 20 to 21 to 22. And it's going to be cool because there's a lot of guys in the organization, not only on the field, but also on the sideline within that organization that are going to show him some love. And it'll be really cool to just kind of see the social media aspect of them releasing stuff. And then when you watch the actual full broadcast, you'll be able to see and kind of pick out a few of those relationships and chemistry that Ramsey has with the organization. So he's looking to get some revenge against his former receivers he would go up against in practice, a.k.a. Cooper Kupp and a few others, but has never faced Puka Nacua. That's going to be a cool matchup. If Ramsey comes up against Nacua, watch for that to be really something, because that's two of the best at their respective positions in the league currently. And Ramsey, I mean, a seven-time Pro Bowler in his time as a player since 2016. I mean, just be ready for that one. Last but not least, we're going to mention the midseason award that was given out by NFL on Fox podcast. The 2024 Defensive Rookie of the Year throughout half the season goes to Jared Verse out of Florida State. I mean, this guy, what we've seen from him in the first couple of weeks this year is astonishing, or the first 8 games, really. He's leading all rookies with 3.5 sacks. That's an incredible number. He's ranked 14th among all defenders that have played at least 275 snaps when it comes to pressure rate. He has 39 pressures against the quarterback in his time on the field. And got to mention his counterpart, too, from Florida State, Braden Fisk. He's got 3 sacks as well. Those two guys right around the top for rookies when it comes to sack totals. Verse 20 total tackles on the year as an outside linebacker. That's pretty solid, and especially with the 3.5 sacks. He's also got a forced fumble. So can't say enough about what Jared's been able to do this season in his first year, his first several games as a professional player. And I mean, you don't see it very often when a defensive player is able to come in so quickly and make such a big impact, especially against good offensive teams. I mean, Seattle, that was a team that played, kind of some up and down football, but the one consistent thing was their pass game and Geno Smith's ability to throw the ball, considering he was the passing leader in the NFL coming into last week. And Verse shut that down. I mean, he took care of Kenneth Walker on the ground, their hard-nosed running back. He recorded half a sack against Smith. And from what he has shown, he very well deserves that midseason award for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And if he continues on the path that he's on, the 24-year-old, he's going to find a D-Roy award at the end of this season from the way that he's been playing. So the entire defensive core has to be happy. Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, head coach Sean McVay, and everybody else, and especially the fans. I mean, Verse is making waves, and it's not too often you see a rookie be doing that for a big organization like the LA Rams. That's going to do it for us here from the LA Rams Insider Podcast on Sports Illustrated. My name is Tom Cavanaugh. Once again, follow me on Twitter at TCav30 and go over to our Insider page on both Facebook and Twitter at LA Rams Insider on SI. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.